Oh,
Welcome,
yeah.
everybody, to That's Good Stuff. We are here in the wake of the finale of The Mandalorian Season 3, and we're here to talk about it. Um, this season, I don't know about this season. There should be some thoughts about this season that I think we're going to get into.
Hmm.
Aliens? Is it
Is
alien?
it?
Sorry, I'm
It
still in
could
that
be.
mode.
It could be. Check out our new video. That's weird stuff for Jared's reference. But um, this season overall, I would say was a little uneven. I don't know. How would you describe this season, Michael?
Um, just a roller coaster of emotions, but not in a good way,
Not in a good way.
Just like a roller coaster of expectation versus disappointment to hype to sadness to quality to lack of quality to story to no story to good characters to real dumb characters. And finally, one of the characters comes to his justice. So we'll leave that at that.
But did he?
What do you guys think, Jared? What do you think of this season?
Disney really wants me to not like Star Wars anymore. That's all I gotta say. I was like, Mandalorian is great. I started off as a huge supporter, a huge defender, and like this season, I was like, okay, more Mandalorian. Every new episode, I'm like, God, please don't make Michael right.
Thomas, what were your thoughts on this season?
I think Michael says like uneven, just like man, like there are some parts of like the season was like, yeah, this is awesome, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
They know the right amount of like carrot to dangle in front
Yeah,
of
and that's what made me so mad about stuff is that there's like, oh, so much potential, and then you're just like, where'd it go? Where did it go?
So apparently there's been a lot of goings on in the background. A lot of unhappy people. Two big names I think everyone know. Pedro Pascal, the star of the show.
Grogu.
Not very happy.
Grogu's
Grogu
pissed.
Grogu is not happy.
He's just choking
then,
John Favreau.
He's like, "Where's my armor?"
And then John Favreau is another one of those people who are rumored to be unhappy with the show.
Really?
So I think you could tell by the quality too. It doesn't seem like because his name's on it, but it doesn't seem the same quality as the first two seasons.
It also doesn't seem like his writing because a lot of the stuff is credited to him writing it. I'm just like, this doesn't seem like anything like he's written before.
Yeah.
Like,
so rumor has it there was a lot of studio interference for this season, and you could kind of tell the way season 2 ended, where it was like kind of wrapping up Grogu's story, and it seemed like they said, "Uh-oh, Grogu's our moneymaker. Gotta bring him back." Yeah.
Have you ever seen studio interference where it was good? Where it's positive to the...
No, I want to say
talks
yes. About that.
I want to say there is, but I can't remember what it.
Because every story is like, oh, the studio interfered, and then it was like poop.
Yeah, but it's way more common that it goes south.
Weirdly enough, the first, or sorry, what was it called? Rogue One. That had a lot of studio interference and like for the betterment. Because like David Adder, I think is his name. The guy that did Fury and Bright and the first Suicide Squad. His stuff was like a mess. Like the script was a mess. They had a massive amount of reshoots. Like it was like twice the production length that it was supposed to be. And it turned out a lot better than most of the stuff that Star Wars was putting out. Okay. So
yeah, I just want to hear once where it's like studio interfered and it was good. Like,
there's definitely been cases of studios having to get involved because the movies were not good, but they're rare. I would say they're more rare than the studio getting involved is good. See Marvel.
Oh my god!
You want to know more?
What are you talking about? What are we talking about? It's the same company now.
Yeah, that's true. Disney's in trouble. They're not making good, wise decisions, and it's hard to figure out why. But going back to The Mandalorian, I think, like we said, a roller coaster ride of the last 4 episodes. Last time we left you, we were on like episode 4. So 4 more episodes came out. We watched them. And we're just going to gloss over the first 2 because those first 2 weren't up to snuff for us, I think. Safe to say the chapter 21 is called The Pirate. So basically, Mando's New Republic friend.
Mike, what was that?
I totally
I should go
forgot
back.
what that was.
Apollo Creed puts out the SOS because pirates are back and they're not too happy that they kicked them out of their school bar, whatever it was.
Their school bar.
So so Griff contacts the New Republic pilot that's kind of friendly with everyone, and then he goes to the New Republic. He talks to who was the cameo in this one?
Zeb.
No, it's like an actor. Like
Isn't
an
that where
actor, you would be like, who? Why is he in this show?
I thought this is where Zeb showed up too.
He is, but I'm
Oh.
thinking of someone else. Tim Meadows.
Who
Tim
down
Meadows was in this show.
Who's Tim
Uh,
Meadows?
The comedian,
I gotta look him
comedic
up.
actor.
Tim Meadows.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Obviously, it wasn't a big cameo because you guys don't even know who Tim Meadows is.
I like how you look like Tim Meadows.
We're like,
Oh, okay,
yeah. He did not
That's his
do well
name?
on this episode.
He did not do well, is that what you said?
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if they just like gave him like one take and said, "Go, you're done, bye." But
Maybe.
I did not.
It's like a
all
New
of it felt
Republic.
so awkward.
Oh, that
and
guy.
weird.
The cannibal from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go to him. He's like, "No, New Republic doesn't want to help. We don't care about that Outer Rim stuff." So the pilot goes to Mando, and Mando, he's like, "Dude, help us out, Mando." And Mando's like, "All right, we'll do it." So him and Bo go, and they pretty much
Bogo.
I did like the last part of this episode.
yeah,
Mhm.
fighting pirates was cool.
Every
Just
time
took
there's
forever to
like
get there.
air fights or like dog fights, good.
Good stuff, yeah. But I'll get to that later. My opinion of the series again. So we go to chapter 22, Guns for Hire. This one was the one that everyone kind of groaned. The groan heard around the world.
There is a disturbance in the force.
Mm.
Yes, millions of Star Wars fans crying out. And that's because we get the cameos no one wanted. Jack Black and Lizzo as the leaders of this planet. So Mando and Bo, they need their Mandalorians back because the armorer's like, "Hey, get all the Mandalorians together. I don't care if they wear helmets or not." So they go to this planet where the Mandos are. But before they're allowed to talk to them, Jack Black's like, "Hey, our droids are not working so great. They're the separatist droids from the Old Republic. So could you help us out?" So it's kind of like a procedural. Bo and Mando.
Kind of like Blade Runner.
Yeah, they got to figure out what's going on.
More like Futurama.
It's just the most video game moment like you've seen in a long. It's like, oh yeah, but hold on, you have to do this fetch quest for 1 second. And the sad thing about this episode is that's actually a cool idea.
Yeah,
Like that the droids are still like jacked up and want to do war, but you want to use them as like AI servants, whatever. And
And they have their own life, and they're like
My
at a bar.
God, this episode dropped the ball so far and so badly, and the ball flattened, and now it's just like
Oh my God.
sad frisbee. Oof.
Poor Christopher Lloyd, man. What are they?
Christopher Lloyd.
I've
What do
never
they
been
do?
so worried for that man.
I know.
He
I'm just
fell.
like, can you? Are you all right? Did they kidnap you?
Please tell me they didn't kill Christopher Lloyd. But yeah, so he turned out to be the bad guy. He was, I guess, programming the droids to do wrong. Or, I don't
He was
know.
like
Gave him bad juice.
He was like a separatist before, right, or something. That's why he
Yeah.
hated the Republic.
Yeah. And Liz was like, dude, you could have been so friendly to
Oh my
us.
god, dude.
We need tonight, Grogu.
Oh,
I was just like, why?
every
Painful.
episode was so painful, man.
So
Holy.
my question is, when you're on set and you're a decent actor or a good actor, and you see someone's not like doing the best job, do actors not like, hey, try this, or like maybe go with this?
What's that Dustin Hoffman thing where he was like acting with what's his name? The guy that did all the Shakespeare stuff. What is his name?
I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, he's just like
Anthony Hopkins.
Well, he was just like, I'm just really trying to get into this character's head. Like, I'm really trying. It's like like the character was like sleep deprived. He stayed up like 3 days to try to get into the headspace. He's like, have you tried acting?
Man, that was bad acting by Lizzo. And poor Jack Black, man, you get to be
I
in Star
know.
Wars, and this is what they give you.
I like somebody says like Jack Black is like the most non-context person you need to see. Like you get to see it, you're like, yeah, I get it. He belongs there. Cool, we're down. I was down for it. I loved his glorious beard.
Did have a
was
very nice
awesome.
beard.
I just came off of seeing him or hearing him being Bowser, and I was like, man, perfection.
So good.
And then
So-
this, you're like, oh no.
I know he was having a big moment, and then got him a crappy Star Wars part. So I think then the show started picking up again as we get into chapter 23, which is called The Spies, even though no one can figure out who the spies
Who's a
were.
spy?
I've heard all kinds of theories about this. It could be that Imperial like dark council that they introduced. So we get introduced to Captain Pelion.
You. Oh, I was like, Captain Pelion. Oh my God. Where's Rook? Oh wait, he died. So we were so close.
Yeah, we start off in this Shadow Council where Gideon's kind of like
Yeah.
talking about like, dude, we got to do clones, man, because clones are the thing.
So
and they're kinda
apparently
like-
that was Hux from
Yeah.
the sequel.
Yeah.
That's like his dad or something.
That's
And they're
bad.
actually brothers in real life. That's another Gleason.
Oh, really?
So yeah. Another
Cool.
Gleason.
Mhm.
So the Mandos finally do what the Mandos should have been doing the whole time. It's in going back to Mandalore and taking Mandalore back.
Wait, can we go back to the council?
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
And like it's hyping up Thrawn. Like they're always like, oh man, Thrawn's cool. Are we ever gonna get like because
We've
Isn't
seen
he-
the back of his head in Ahsoka.
Well, and that's the thing is that I just watched Rebels and it was so good. The ending was so good. Thrawn was awesome. And I'm just like, I just want to watch, or I just want to reread Heir to the Empire now because that's just like
Good book.
so good. And he's such a good character.
because for years it's like, oh man, there's this blue guy, he's real cool. And then like we still haven't gotten anything from him and like shows and like live action shows and movies, I mean, like we've had him in like Rebels and stuff.
So pretty soon, Jared, you just gotta wait for Ahsoka.
I'm actually kind of hyped for that now.
That's
Like
not long. That's June, right? Or is it
Yeah.
July?
August.
August?
August.
August.
I thought it was a month with a J in it.
That might be the other one.
January of last year.
So there's this scene that was really weird. They're like, Bo was like, I'm gonna take back Mandalore. I need some volunteers to go with me. And pretty much
Oh.
everyone volunteers. They leave no one behind.
I volunteer. I volunteer. I volunteer. I volunteer. Well, I volunteer too.
I just wanted
Okay.
one lazy one to be like, nah, I'm good. I'll sit here.
I'll stay.
Is this
just like,
before
"No,
or
I'm good."
after the big guy throws a fit because they're playing chess or whatever?
Yes.
Before.
That killed me, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. So they all volunteer. The whole Mandalorian force pretty much volunteers for this mission.
I'm Spartacus.
When they just probably
That's what
needed
I
a
was
couple of
thinking.
scouts. One of the theories is that like it's a biblical reference to how they went into the promised land. Joshua and the other spies. So that's who the spies were, maybe. But I don't know if we'll ever know who the spies were. So they go down there, they go to the planet, they find these other Mandalorians who were kind of left over. Bo left them, deserted them on the planet, so they've created this boat which they float around on.
I think it was pretty cool though.
That was cool, yeah.
And then we get to the scene that Michael's talking about where they're playing some kind of chess or some Kazakh or something. I don't know what it was.
It was like the chess. No, you're right. Never mind.
I don't remember what it was. And they have a fight because they don't like each other. What were you gonna say about the scene, Michael?
It's so stupid. Like, okay, so first of all, the first half of this episode I don't really care for.
Yeah.
The meeting with the evil people was interesting, but like there's really bad dialogue up to like most of this episode is bad dialogue and really bad choreography.
Mhm.
It blows my mind. But someone maybe it's Disney just pushing down that they really hate this big guy in armor. They make him forget his son. They make him a freaking moron the whole time. He's a loser. And then they're like, how do we have a conflict between the tribes? Normally there's some test of strength or someone bumps someone in like a line or something, he like gets real pissed at. No, he's gonna throw a fit because they're playing a little board game and he gets his feelings hurt, and that's how they start the classic tribal. That's how they start the tribal thing. It's so stupid. It's like maybe be like, oh no, I'm gonna lead the pack. No, I'm gonna lead. Then you fight. I don't know anything other than you cheated at Yahtzee. That guy was a 5. I saw it. And oh my god.
I'm playing by our rules, not yours.
Oh,
So I have a theory about that. So that character was originally played by Jon Favreau, and then he was kind of cool, like in the last few seasons. And
Jon Favreau's killing.
and then this one is just like this season, he's like the
I
dumbest
hope
character.
that's true.
And I'm just like, is this like John just like screw you?
Oh yeah, he was cool. Like when he challenged in.
Yeah,
I
like
hope
the
that's
sword
true.
fight was awesome. And then this season, he's just like
He's a loser.
he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like he's an idiot.
He's
The
a
only
big oaf.
redeeming thing about him in this season was that badass line when the blast doors came down. He's like, "You got to give up," and he like looks at Bo. He's like, "This is the way," and like cocks the Gatling gun, just goes full bore. I'm just like,
So yeah, let's get into
that's
that.
cool.
So they have their boat ride. It's fun. They
The
get
3-hour tour.
You
They're-
get
they're
the
going
you get the
to the-
song from Treasure Planet going.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I'm
They-
still here.
they're headed to the Great Forge. But before they get attacked by monsters because they're Mandalorians and they can't handle monsters.
They cannot.
For some reason, this boat's been like flying around this lake for like decades, and
It's
they
it's
it
like seeing
survived.
Worf take on anyone. It's just like they get slapped around.
oh man. Yeah, so this boat that's apparently been flying around for decades gets finally killed by this sea monster. They make it to this cave. They're like, let's go down here. And surprise, surprise, there's no forge anymore. It's like the Empire has a base down here that no one knew about.
Really clean
sorry,
and nice.
I'm sorry to derail again, but Bo, her actress, is after Michael said she's cheesy. Like I kept seeing it, and like in this cave, she's like, "I've only seen flowers in a dome," and I was like, "Oh my god." Michael's right. She is kind of cheesy.
It's a very unfortunate.
She's really good in Battlestar. I'll say that. I will say that. And
I
that's
know
it.
I don't mind her character, but
I even
her
like-
a-
I even like Bo-Katan, like as a character. She's kind of cool.
I don't mind that actress.
I haven't liked Bo since like Clone Wars. They were annoying, her and her sister.
She's
Yeah.
really good in Rebels. Just saying.
Longmire. She's on Longmire.
Yeah, she's
She's
good
on
in that.
Longmire.
Yeah,
I liked
she's
her in
really
that,
good
yeah.
in that.
I like that show.
That's a good show too. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm not
that's a dad
blaming
show.
her. I'm blaming the show.
And
Yeah.
it's the writing.
Yeah.
Blaming the
It's
show.
the writing. She looks pretty good in that suits too, I would say.
Well, we know where Joe's looking. All right.
Anyway,
You fill out that armor pretty well there.
surprise, surprise.
I love seeing Joseph as a Mandalorian saying that.
Pretty well.
So surprise, surprise, the Empire has a secret base on Mandalore.
Wait. I forgot a part.
Oh shoot.
Let's go back to the boat and the fit that was thrown. It's pretty bad when Grogu's stopping a fight and saying, like, hey, let's calm down.
No.
He's a baby.
No.
Oh,
Babies don't like fights. Babies don't like when adults fight, Jerry.
He got his
True.
robot thing.
But it's supposed to be this cool, like, two guys challenging each other because they want to be tough and like the leader of a group. But a baby in a robot is like, hey, let's not do this. Let's calm down. It was just like so lame.
And
Well, even like, oh, go ahead.
I was just real quick. I was just gonna say, and the effect on that knife, it's like it looks so bad.
It's
just like, let's just,
It's a viral blade.
but it
Viral
looks
blade.
terrible.
They
It
don't
looks
look very good
so
this season.
bad. I was like, just lessen. It just looks so extreme.
That's the thing is that like in the past few seasons, like the vibroblade was like this, and it was like kind of vibrating.
Yeah,
but
like-
this was like
It was literally it was moving back and forth in the sheath. Like if it's moving that fast, your eye's not gonna be able to catch it. It's not gonna look like some blur. It's just gonna be like
well. Also, if it
slightly
was doing that, you'd be
around.
like.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Thomas.
Well, okay, and I did like, and there's like parts of like some cool like story elements. Is that they're like when Din and Bo are like looking at them fighting, it's like who's are we gonna stop this? Like, well, I can't, and you can't because we're both from opposing
Yeah.
factions. So whoever steps in is gonna get blamed. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's an interesting like Mandalorian politics. But then it's like, yeah, ruined by Grogu. No. No.
Mash the button.
Yeah,
So
mash the button.
we forgot to mention the robot IG-11's body carcass or whatever. They picked Grogu in it. Another kind of
Again, he's like Robotnik. It's just like first his little egg cart, now he's in his little robot. It's crazy.
Just they should have put ears on the top of it to match him.
I miss his little egg thing. I like that.
Grogu should not have been in this season. He should
They-
still be with Luke.
They really should have like let him be absent for a while so we could like
Yeah.
miss him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also,
that would have been awesome if he was still with Luke, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
Yeah, like have that after this.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. So they get to the Imperial base, and it turns out Gideon has created some Mando troopers. So Beskar stormtroopers with jetpacks and flying around.
yeah, they
Cool.
still get taken out like so easily though.
It's like everyone
Oh.
saw John Wick and knew how to fight between the armor. You got to like shoot you got to shoot at the neck and stuff like that. But the Mandos get their butt kicked in this scene, and then they get trapped into this blast doors, like blocking them. But the blast door, she's got the dark saber, right? So why not just kind of like make a hole?
There's a lot of why nots, Joseph. There's a lot of why nots of, hey, why not shoot the electronic door when you're on the other side of it? Because then you're safe and you can leave with everyone else because you died immediately. Well, actually, I will say he did go out kind of badly, but
His ending was pretty cool. I gotta admit.
but it's like,
Yeah.
but make it more believable that he can't follow or he needs to stay behind. It's like, shows,
Yeah.
not only this shows are so bad about this, where it's like, oh, we've had 30 seconds to chat and talk about all this stuff, but I'm going to shoot the door, but I'm going to stay on this side of it because it's just, it's going to make me what's the way I'm looking for? Felicitate emotion?
I don't know. Facilitate.
There you go. What is felicitate? Facilitate emotion
Not
for the
even sure.
episode. I don't
I'm
know.
not sure that's the right usage.
That's- But yeah, it's like I like
Michael, this is the way.
it's
It was
So-
a cool scene, but like everything before that, like
it's a cool scene that
So-
wasn't earned.
yeah. So they're getting creamed by these stormtroopers because the Beskar armor, but his gun works on them. Works really well. He takes them all out.
Yeah.
I did
Why
like
they
it.
Just stay with him.
I did like how it melted though. That was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that was really cool. He takes them all out. They could have stayed and helped.
okay, the Praetorian Guards. I think they're lame. Like, I loved the old school Crimson
Imperial
Guard of the
Guard,
Imperial
yeah.
Guard, and like, okay, and I'm bringing in some legend stuff too. They even had like how they're like, what do you call it? Trained to be the protectors of like the high Imperial stuff, which is kind of what they hint at. But I just don't like their design. They look like freaking Snoke's guys, and I hate those guys.
They are Snoke's guys, though, right? That's
I
where they
think they're
came
sup-
from.
I think they're supposed to be like the prototypes of that,
Yeah.
but like their armor is way better than the ones in the last
Uh-oh.
Jedi, because those guys were
Whoa,
just wearing
Thomas.
plastic. Like these
Try to-
guys.
Yeah, you broke up, Thomas. Try to
Am I back?
Yeah,
Am I
you're
back?
You went like
Okay.
into weird like percussion mode.
Well, they're like a prototype of it almost, because like in Last Jedi they're like plastic armor, and
Yeah.
in this one they're wearing like Beskar, which is it looks better than Last Jedi, but I like the really old like Crimson Guard uniform. That looks so cool.
From 6 or whatever.
Yeah,
Crimson,
Return of the Jedi.
Crimson
Mhm.
Empire, if you guys
Yes, that's
read
the
that,
one. It's so cool. It's so brutal too.
that graphic novel is really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like where they have to kill each other to have a spot in the Imperial like guard.
Well, everything used to be really cool. Even Mandalorians, like they wouldn't hide behind the blast door. They would have fought until like
Yeah.
everyone was dead.
Yeah, it didn't
Okay.
make much sense.
I will say that when the Mandalorians are actually fighting, I like it. Like
Yeah.
it's cool. The jetpacks are
We'll get
kind of
into
cool.
that in the next episode because that has a lot of cool battles. But
Before we get off lame armor, though, we have to talk about how lame the Moff Gideon's armor is.
Is
like
it-
It's so
The little horns?
It's so cheesy and lame, and he makes the mechanical noise.
looks-
I'm like, oh,
It looks like in the Clone Wars, the Mandalorians who follow Darth Maul,
Mhm.
they kind of get that black and
Those
red.
were awesome.
that's
though.
basically. It just seems like a rip off of they're trying to make him cool like Darth Maul, and it's like it's not working, bro. It's not working.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I don't know. I didn't mind it, but I didn't hate it.
It
I
wasn't
didn't like
terrible, but it was
Yeah.
lame.
It's like if one of the Imperial officers was cool and they're trying to make him cool.
It's like what's cool in like the 2000s? Horns. Heck yeah, put him on his helmet.
So the
Jeez.
last thing I want to talk about with this episode is Din gets captured. And I really thought, because knowing all the drama in the back scenes and stuff like that, I really thought they were going to kill him off. I was
It's kinda stressful.
dude, this is happening. Because I thought they were going to like put him on his knees and then Gideon like going to just, like kill him. And
Okay, that's the thing about like the first 5 minutes of this episode. He's out of those shackles like immediately, and so it's like, well, what's the point of like him being trussed up like a turkey? Like, is he just got out? So,
on the next episode. Okay. Yeah.
oh, sorry, we weren't quite there yet. My bad.
So chapter 24 is the return. So we'll get into that. Everyone's running for their lives. Bo's like ordered to retreat. The guy, I don't remember his name, but he's the rival faction guy that kind of took over for Bo.
Axe Wolves.
Yeah, he like jets.
It's a
right?
terrible name.
He jets into the like.
Into space. Like,
Yeah, that was freaking cool.
I was just like the Rocketeer.
I know. So he's gonna go up there and tell them that they need help.
Wait, was he trying to be cool or trying to fend off Imperials at all? Because it's like he got in that space station just to crash it. Is that like, was he just getting in there to crash it, or
Yeah.
was he
Yeah.
trying? Okay,
No,
Assumedly
because he
he was
told
gonna crash
everyone
it,
to.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
he was going down to like help, and then once he realized like this thing's screwed, he's like, you know what, I can.
because I might hate this man because he is lame.
Though
He told everyone to get in the escape pods and ships
Yeah.
and take off.
I will admit though, the way he actually got out of it was like, okay, that makes sense. Is like he shut out the window.
Yeah. 'cause-
I was just because I'm like, if he dies, I'm like, that's gonna be the dumbest thing. It's like you have a jetpack, dude.
Okay, before we get to that though, Din, like you said, breaks free real fast. And I thought that scene was kind of cool with him breaking out and like fighting all those guys by himself. I kind of like that scene. Did you guys like that scene?
Let
It
me
was
give.
all right.
We missed the subtitle for this episode. What episode did you say this was? Number
The
what?
Return.
24.
Oh.
24. Subtitled "The Most Frustrating Mandalorian Episode of All Time." Do you guys know why it's the most frustrating episode of all time?
I have my reasons, but what are your reasons?
Yeah, what you?
Because this episode is fantastic.
Oh,
Like,
Oh, okay.
I was watching this and I was like, why is this episode so good? Like, the
Mhm.
choreography was there, the action was
Yeah.
there, the characters were
Yeah.
there, the story was there. It had great pacing. I was like, I was
Even
so
look
angry
good?
watching this. The whole thing looked amazing. Like,
mhm.
like
Because I was gonna say, like in that cave scene of the last episode, looked
Yeah.
pretty bad.
It
It
was
looked like
terrible.
sci-fi.
so
Yeah.
here's the comparison. When they get ambushed by the stormtrooper Mandalorians, they come up, they're all on that side of the cliff, whatever, and then it becomes like this old western, like under rock crouching thing. And this next one, they like had thought out movements, thought out battle things, choreography and everything. And like, I was so frustrated watching this because of how good this episode was. I was like, sure, they're going to script somewhere. Something's
Yeah.
going to be weird. I have zero problem with this episode whatsoever, and that's
Wow.
frustrating.
Well,
So frustrating.
Okay, one thing I did have a problem with is it's not their fault. It's just whenever they're in jetpacks, it looks like
you didn't like the jetpack part?
It just looks like it reminds me of Santa Claus when the elves take off every time. I know we can't fly as humans yet, but it never looks good. It
This
looks
is
like
Tim
those
Allen
elves.
as a Mandalorian.
It looks like elves with attitudes. It's
So them
terrible.
taking off is your problem. What about when they're
With
like
attitudes.
in their air? Is that the same thing?
It's the same. It's not that good.
Oh,
And seeing
man.
that lady, the blacksmith
Armor.
lady,
Yeah.
going out with like a hammer and like whatever.
She needs to stop that. I will admit that.
I kind
That's
of like though.
stupid.
She's bopping people out of the air like Like a
It's
boss,
cool,
man.
But it
She's
just
like Bunny
doesn't look
Foo Foo.
good.
She's just bopping him on the head.
I was about it, man.
Does she not have a gun? I mean, she makes the guns, doesn't
Well,
she?
I was just like, well, I mean, okay, there is kind of interesting about like they don't like making weapons out of Beskar because it could kill Mandalorians, like that whole spear. Even though that spear was freaking awesome,
Yeah, it was.
like I don't know, like she needed to have blasters or like a laser whip,
Yeah.
which I think would be kind of cool. Like I don't know,
Uh,
because like laser whips are like part of Mando stuff because they combated the Jedi. That's a cool thing.
It's like hearing about the legends of the Mandos is cool, like back in the day, but like seeing them on screen, like a bunch of Mandalorians, like before we saw one, and you're like, oh. Now it's just like, oh, there's a bunch of them, and they're like stormtroopers, and because they're not even
We
they're
have
not any-
Stormtrooper
they're
Mandos
not
too.
even more brutal than anyone, so it's like, why have a lot of them?
So R5 comes back in. I don't know where R5 has been. I don't know if he's been on that planet the whole time or where the heck did
That's
he come
true, but I love this because it's such
don't know.
an ode to Star Wars moments, and it's like, oh, the
Yeah.
little tense
Yeah.
thing, and I love the little box droid going by. He's like freaking out, like, oh, and he goes up, tries to stop him. Like,
I don't
where
know.
where has this stuff been? This is the good Star Wars stuff, man.
from? Yeah. So Din is going after Gideon. He's like, "This is my mission. I'll go after him." So he has to go through the like episode 1 laser fences or whatever those are.
cool.
That's
So
that-
he has to like
oh.
run this gauntlet. He has to run this gauntlet of just like beating the crap out of these stormtroopers, and that was pretty cool. What did you
How
think?
cool was that? It was so cool because
Yeah.
you're like, he's like, I was kind of wondering. I was like, what does he mean? He's like, you're gonna release the gates one by one, and I'll tell you when the next one do it. And he's like, because he's doing the thing, and they build that tension so well. Where God, that scene was amazing. Where was the thought put in? Because he's like, he's struggling. He's like picking up one thing after another, like switching weapons. It was the coolest progression of him gaining all things. He has that shield, and he's like,
Yeah.
I need to change now. I need to change now. It's like it built the tension so well. That scene was so cool, man.
I will
I hate
admit-
this episode.
I will admit that something I do like
Oh.
about the Beskar when it's actually used like Beskar instead of being plastic whatever crap that people get hit and die. I do like that when they get hit by like a laser beam that it's like an actual impact, but it doesn't
Yeah.
like it's not like they're invulnerable. They still get hit by it, but
Yeah.
it still
Like
leaves an
wearing
impact.
ballistic armor.
Yeah, and so I do like that. It's like, yeah, they're protected, but it's still kind of hurts from getting shot that many times. And I like that fight with Gideon was so cool
Yeah.
because he was able to like to fend off Gideon with the blaster bolts by just like knocking him back. It's such a cool premise, but
Yeah, so he didn't fight Gideon. It doesn't do very well against him. So Bo comes and kind of has to help out. And then Bo's like, "Hey, go save the kid, because Grogu." Oh, the Praetorian Guard were coming for Din, and Grogu's like, "No, come after me instead." So they
Another
see
scene
him
where
and
you
they're
think Din is gonna die because he's like on the
Yeah.
floor.
yeah,
and
on the floor.
They
Yeah.
come out and he's like, he's gonna die now.
And it's like the only time that Grogu actually does anything, and it's amazing.
So Grogu,
the whole
like-
season.
He was just hiding on the chandelier, Michael.
Yeah, Grogu takes him to this room where there's like a chandelier or whatever, and he like jumps up there, and they're trying to like whack him.
but he's like,
"Get down from
it's like
there."
but they actually did a good thing. It didn't seem silly to me because like running along the rafters, like kind of just drawing away or whatever. And I don't know. I like this episode a lot.
You like
It's upsetting me a lot.
Grogu uses a lot of the Force in this fight, which is cool. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I liked when he teamed up with Din and he was like using the Force to pull the weapons away and like help him out.
Yeah, so we get to the last fight where it's like Bo, Din, and Grogu all going up against Gideon. Like
Which
we
was
said,
that was a cool fight too. I will say like the choreography was pretty cool. Or what does Michael say? The choreography. Choreography. The
No, it was
choreography
great.
impressive.
Because they had several moments of, oh no, what's gonna happen? And like the moment where Bo slides in with the shield and protects Din, and like whenever Grogu would force something or whatever, the spoil at the end where Grogu just thing, but it's so good.
The Darksaber gets destroyed. Gideon
That was cool.
crushes it.
That I'm sorry, I got pissed off at that. Like,
Why?
okay,
It doesn't even matter. It's stupid.
that's the thing is that
They're
like,
just like
yeah,
handing it off to everyone. It doesn't
well, like
matter.
after watching like Clone Wars and Rebels, the Darksaber means so much, and then in like the past 2 seasons of Mandalorian, we've also had like this huge buildup of the Darksaber, and it's just like crunch.
Yes, that's what makes me happy. I was like, it's gone. Yes,
I like the Darksaber. It's cool.
it's
man.
too much. There's
Do
too
you
much
think
focus
they'll
on it.
rebuild it?
I don't know.
Will it
Like,
fix
Dude,
it?
make it a dual saber.
there's a lot of cool like lore behind it too, because it's made out of Beskar, which also it's made out of Beskar. How the hell did he bend it?
Because his
He
thing
just-
goes.
But he just had like the exo grip. He didn't even have heat or whatever. It's just
I'm kind of with Michael. Like, I don't really care about it. Like when
It was
do you
made
remember-
by the only like
only
Jedi
Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but it hasn't been. I don't know. It was.
Then they can
I haven't
find
liked
him
a
so we
black-
can remake it.
I
I
haven't
had
liked
more
a
of a-
black lightsaber.
He's long
since,
dead.
Like,
Find
I've
his
been like
baby.
a black lightsaber since like the Force Unleashed.
Those are cool. That was a cool one.
I have more of a problem as to how Din gave it up so easily, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
then they get into straight. My biggest problem with this episode, they drive a Star Destroyer into a base.
And no one dies.
Wouldn't that make like a big like shockwave and like crush everything under it?
It is
It's
just
just-
a little bit of flame.
It
Little
just
flame.
kind of disintegrates in the air. And
To be fair, it's one of those Republic ones. They're a little smaller, a little
A little weak sauce.
lame.
That's technically not a Star Destroyer. That's a cruiser.
I'm gonna
Um,
cruise you.
That was my biggest problem with this episode, though. Is it's just like it just like goes in there, like melts away.
Well, I
No
don't think-
debris, no shockwave, no nothing.
I don't think Gideon's dead though. I really
You
don't.
don't think he's dead?
Well, he's just like and you just don't see him. I'm just like, oh
Probably a clone that got out or something.
yeah, something. Like I'm just like,
One of those defect
Nah.
clones. He's got like
Maybe
3
Gideon
legs or
is-
something.
One of those rejects.
Maybe Gideon is Snoke. Like one of his clones just got like all burnt and nasty.
you know,
What
we
is
would
the-
like to think that, but
What is the timeline of this show? When is this supposed to take place?
Before episode
Before-
7,
Okay,
in between after 6,
gotcha.
it's after Return of Jedi. Yeah. Any last
you-
thoughts on the last battle?
Do you care about Grogu saving them with the Force? Like,
I actually
That was
liked
cool.
it. I thought like
Yeah.
he served a purpose and it was cool. And I was kind of like, I was like, how are they gonna get out of this? It's a
why
big
is he meeting
fireball.
Grogu?
I
He's just
was
like,
laughing though
"Shit,
because like
you're-
Bo like puts up her shield and it's just like that. I'm like, okay, if they survive because of that, that
That's
seems
what I
kind of
thought at first.
stupid. But then Grogu's doing, the Force. Like,
Her
oh, okay, that
shield.
makes sense.
they actually
And
put
Rip-
thought into this episode, Thomas.
It
Oh.
reminded me of Gru at the end of Guardians 1, where he
Yeah.
kind of like engulfs.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking.
Our Groot.
Becomes a ball.
I'm Grogu.
Grogu, I
Oh.
am.
So the episode ends. Mandalorian's retaken. Din and Grogu go back to Navarro, and they kind of retire on this little farm that the Griff gives them. And they're like, okay.
You forgot that he was adopted finally by.
Oh yeah, he was
True.
adopted. That
True. It became a papa.
Michael's favorite Mandalorian son takes the oath.
He did.
Grogu gets adopted, so now his name is Grogu Darjin or something like that. They retire. They retire from like the Mandalore business, but then goes to the New Republic and say, "Hey, I'll be your special bounty hunter on the Outer Rim."
Who had also the New Republic hasn't done squat this season. Or
They're very terrible.
they are terrible. Like even like it's
they
Beskar
have-
armor.
Do they have like an air of like evil to them too? That like
A little bit,
don't
yeah.
seem like on the level.
They were torturing that guy, and then yeah, Dave Filoni is in this scene wearing his cowboy hat.
He is?
Yeah, he's one of the pilots. He's like behind.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
IG-88's head's there for some reason, so they grabbed that.
And now he's like the Marshal of Navarro or whatever.
Yeah,
There's
he's
a new
like,
sheriff in town.
That was kind of dumb. And then it pretty much ends with the promise of Din going back to bounty hunting and becoming
I do like their little farm or their little farmhouse. or
their
whatever.
little base.
It
Yeah.
I
ended-
wish there was a game like that where you're a bounty hunter and you have a little farm and then you go out on missions. That would be really cool.
it ended the way the show should have started, which is obviously what they wanted to do, was now they can just go on adventures and there's no like you got to get Grogu somewhere, but then they bounce it. Now it's literally just an adventure show, and that's what it should have been from the beginning, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
It took a while to get there, Michael, but
It's like-
we're there.
Jesus.
This season, I really think should have been like 4 episodes long.
Yeah.
Had like the first, maybe the second episode, I think it was, and then the last 2 episodes, and maybe something in the middle.
With the amount of content, it was only worth like 4 episodes. That was
Yeah.
actually shown.
How dare you? We needed Lizzo.
Yeah.
No, please cut that out.
we needed the little child to be taken by the bird. That was
Oh my
the
God.
most essential
My God.
storytelling plot so we can get connection to this
We're
big
out
guy.
of fuel. It's like this dude flew into space. Is he out of fuel yet?
Didn't they start eating the babies after a while? Because they had one like on a like a
I
spit.
don't know. I was
Probably.
going to ask.
We're
about
hungry.
that.
It should have been like the first 2 episodes combined for one episode. It should have been like that Empire episode that we got where it was like Andor.
Mm.
And then it should have been those last 2 episodes. That's all you needed. All that other stuff was just so much filler and crap.
You could tell they wanted to bring in the politics of like the New Republic and the Empire, but the New Republic, dude, I hate it. It's
They
like
suck.
it's shady. It's like make
very
them the
bad.
bad guys.
It's also very unclear. Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure who's in charge. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure. Are you doing this? Or you guys are part of a group? Are you like 6 or like I don't know. It's confusing.
Well, that's the thing. Is like we don't even get that in like the new movies either, because like in the New Republic,
They get blown up in
they get
first
blown
movie.
up.
Yeah, and then they're like gone. It's gone. There's a resistance now.
I am wondering. So I don't know. This is a theory. Be a theory. That maybe they're put my theory hat on. That maybe they're gonna do some retconning of the sequel trilogy. I don't know.
There's been there's been talk about that.
Because if you watch Rebels, they have like access to that force vortex thing where Ezra goes into like multiple parts of the past and the future, and he's able to save Ahsoka. That's how she got out of there. And the next, like this new Ahsoka series, is focusing on finding Ezra because he goes off into unknown space. I don't know, like.
And then they just announced a new Rey movie, which I don't have any faith of it actually ever happening. And
I've never wanted something less. Dude.
Apparently, there's also a rumor that they had like a Force baby, like recording.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is like just enforcing like a kid's like kissing causes babies.
Thoughts cause babies.
Dude, they have the opportunity to just cut it off here and just go far in the future and just forget about the crap that they've made.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was that one Legends about like Skywalker's descendant? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
like 300 years in the future.
Cade Skywalker.
Cade.
Yeah, everybody else except for Cade was cool.
Make
Cade
a Star Wars
sucked.
movie about Bob. Just a
Yes.
Bob.
Just a Bob.
Planet Mr. Bob. It's just
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers.
So that closes out Mandalorian season 3. A quick
is there
thought.
gonna be more?
Yeah.
It looked like they were just done because he's like on a farm. They're just kicking back. And
It's
Yeah,
Adventure
Adventure
Time
Time.
now, Jared.
David said that they're going to keep going until they can't anymore.
until they run it down into nothing.
This is pretty nothing, Jared.
Until I hate Din and like Grogu.
That would be impressive. Well, Grogu is easy, but Dan would be
No,
impressive.
Michael, I hate your Grogu hate.
I mean, he was much better in this season because he wasn't in it very much. But he
Wow.
did have great years when he was flying his thing. That was probably the greatest part of the season. But
sadly, this is a little off topic, but sadly, with Lance Riddick passing away, and they are making a John Wick 4, they should totally get the guy who plays Moff Gideon to be the concierge for the new movie, because I think he'd be a good concierge.
he would be. Yeah, what a waste
little
of
off topic.
what a waste of like a performance by him too. Like
Yeah.
I mean, Moff Gideon was okay, but he wasn't like not in nearly enough. Where like they had what
just seemed
a couple
whiny.
encounters, that was it, and then he's gone.
He's like, I wanted the Force.
And he got Iron Man suit for some reason.
Yeah,
like,
he wasn't like
a child's
scheming
treatment.
enough. You would think he'd be
or threatening enough. Like I never
Yeah.
felt threatened when he was around, or felt threatened for the main characters. It's just like, oh well, there's
He just seemed like a dude that kind of like Darth Vader and like he wanted to be Darth Vader.
He's a fanboy.
He's like the villain on Despicable Me, the like nerdy guy that wants to like he builds robots and stuff. Like I'm gonna be powerful because I've always been weak. That's what that guy is. He's just a freaking nerd that had too much money.
He's like Kylo Ren.
There you go.
But worse, because he has no like.
Because he's not Adam Driver. Just kidding.
True.
He's not shredded like Adam Driver's upper body.
That is the weirdest body.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
Weird.
He was wearing those mom pants.
He's wearing a pregnancy
Adam Driver,
pants.
but I was like, I don't need to see that.
Adam Driver rumored for Fantastic Four.
Really?
I
Or
mean,
who?
Reed Richards.
yeah. Who else? Is it gonna be Johnny Storm? Tom?
Doctor Doom.
No, well, I
It's
thought what's his face is going to be Reed Richards.
No, I don't think.
No,
he's
because then he
coming
dropped
back.
out like 2 weeks after or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Krasinski?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way. I think they just put him in that just as like a appease people. Like, I don't think they were actually going to pick him.
Yeah, that was just fan service. Okay, so we are done with Mandalorian for now. We will be back with another series to review, another movie to review pretty soon.
I just hope Lizzo's in the next season because
It's just to make her a bounty hunter.
Oh my god.
She's the Mandalorian.
I hope Lizzo shows up in everything now.
You know
The
she's going to
Last
be in
of
Rings
Us-
of Power season 2.
Oh my
last-
god!
Oh my god.
The Last of Us Part 2.
She's just a Nazgul.
Oh, man.
Oh no. Star Wars, please pick up your
Please come back.
mess.
Please help.
Yeah. Someone help them out.
We need we need like an Obi-Wan.
We need.
No, you tried that.
No, I mean,
failed
like,
bad.
The whole like
He's our
you're
only
my
hope.
only hope.
Yeah.
Oh,
we need
yeah,
our
we
only.
need
Who's our only hope left?
Yeah.
We
Christopher
need a
Nolan,
hero.
come take over Star Wars.
We need a hero. We need one now.
We need a
Oh,
hero
boy.
at the end of the night.
Or maybe like just hopefully Disney just drops it and like it becomes like indie or something like that.
just Disney, just pay HBO to make it. There you go.
I think-
Problem solved.
I think Star Wars is the only thing making them money right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
True.
if they didn't have this, they would be in some. I mean, they already are in trouble.
Yeah, but they treat it like crap.
I know.
Because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing with Marvel. They don't know what they're doing with Star Wars.
I hate to be that nerd, but I used to love Star Wars, and it's just like so disappointing.
That's
I
every
know.
nerd now, Jim.
Now you're just
All of
every
us.
other nerd.
I know. Look what I've become.
We're all
Disney.
on the boat.
I was a Star Wars guy too.
So what's that?
Now-
Lie?
I hear Picard season 3 is awesome, so I'm probably gonna go watch
I just-
Picard season 3.
I just finished Fallen Order, and that was so cool when
Yeah.
like spoilers, but when like Darth came, I was like, and he was so like
It's so
powerful
good.
and huge.
That scene
You're
is
just so underpowered.
good,
You're just
Yeah.
like, huh,
That's
Well,
that's fear.
yeah. Well, I can't do anything against this.
And you
I
see
can
like
run.
how much force he can control, and he's like throwing everything at you.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
like,
that's such a great scene. I hope they don't bring him back for the second.
They better
Yeah.
not.
Because that would ruin that scene. But
Yeah.
okay,
even-
so
I even like the family you start, like except for the captain, he's kind of lame. He's like, they try to make him grumpy and like,
It's been a
Oh,
minute.
he's
Oh, yeah,
grumpy.
yeah, I remember.
but I
Yeah.
don't know.
He's just he reminds me of Jason Alexander, but just in Star Wars.
No, he's
So-
not as funny and cool. He's so lame.
you like the droid?
The droid's cute. That the witch chick, she's kind of cool.
She was very cool. But yeah.
All right.
Source, get your crap
That's
together.
a discussion for another day, Jared.
I'm sorry
Star
to
Wars game.
bring it down, but I'm so sad.
We're sad for Star Wars. We hope there's better days coming. Andor season 2 hopefully is great.
Oh my god, why did you bring that up?
Because season 1 is incredible.
No, it's terrible.
All right.
I know you're on my side, Thomas. Join me
Yeah,
and we can bring down.
Drunk fools, man. Andor's
Not-
so good.
Nothing's happening.
There's so
Nothing's
much
happening.
tension in
There's
that parade.
nothing
scene.
happening right now, and I'm like, I'm so freaking
That
bored.
parade scene? That
Yeah,
lame, lame
funeral.
The
scene.
show
I know, no, it is a parade. 'cause
the
it's
show is
a
broken up
joke.
into 3 parts. You get 3 episodes and there's like an arc, and then an arc, and then an arc, and they're all great.
This arc is all filler, and
End
yet
it,
it's the
Chelsea.
first
Just end
part.
this episode.
Lost your
We're
mind.
just gonna fight.
Just
Lost your
stop
minds.
it. Just make the madness stop.
Turn it
Alright.
off, Joseph.
Disney has
Okay.
poisoned your minds
what-
to where you
This
have
is
no
what Disney has
patience.
done. It has
You-
driven us apart,
Disney has made you think that good things are bad. That's what it's done.
and yet you're praising a Disney product.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. This must have slipped through their cracks.
writers,
Yeah,
different
someone
writers.
didn't tell them they were making it, and they just shoved it on the platform. Someone got the password or something. Like, hey, put it on before Disney tries to change it. That's something weird happened. I don't know what it is, but
All right,
I
we
praise
gotta go.
those
We gotta
people.
wrap up this.
Let's
I
just
praise
kill this.
We gotta wrap up this episode. If you like us, give us some likes, give us a subscribe, and get your notification on so you can follow us and get more good stuff. So we will see you next time. Bye.
all the good
Bye.
stuff.